Hello everyone and welcome back to the English Shooting live stream. Obviously we do this every single week, so for any regulars you know what the deal is. For anybody new, thank you for joining. This is an opportunity to talk about anything gun related and otherwise. It's usually a lot of otherwise because you guys are degenerates, but we've got some topics to discuss tonight. I know there's a couple that a lot of you have been eyeing up and have been potentially looking forward to, let's just say, being discussed this evening. I'll try and keep it professional. I'll try and keep it as clean as possible, but we'll see where we end up. But also this is an opportunity to ask any questions, not specifically about UK gun laws, but if you're interested about getting into shooting here, learning a bit more about our laws, then please fire away and I'll do my best to answer as many questions as possible. And any general topics you want to discuss, then put it in the chat segment below or to the side, wherever it is on your screen, and we get chatting. So yeah, I hope you've all had a fantastic week. It's been fairly repetitive, as every other week seems to be at the moment under lockdown. For any international viewers, we we are, of course, still under lockdown here in the UK, although I have just seen David Kiddle from Kentucky Firearms Club has said busily booked for March 16th. So that might be a bit of optimism for everyone out there. Hopefully we can get back to shooting and doing what we all enjoy and appreciating this wonderful hobby once lockdown has lifted. So yeah, of course, the main topic for Sergeant Holt, what's on Only Guns page now, I have no idea. I'm definitely not going to show that live like I did last week on stream. So for those of you that don't know, somebody who watches the stream regularly and part of the UK Shooting Discord bought the domain name onlyguns.com and or .co.uk even, or maybe he's taken it down, I don't know. Oh dearie me. So this is actually for once safe for work. He actually last week there was a bit of nudity on the channel, which I apologise for, but we can have a quick look at what is being viewed at the moment, and we'll get on to the main subject in a bit. See, we're already off course, right? So if you go on to onlyguns.co.uk, this is the wonderful picture that you will be greeted with. It seems to change on almost a daily basis. So add it to your homepage, get a surprise every morning. Not like that. And we'll see that where that one goes. But last week there was a number of interesting images, to say the least. So yes, the big news of this week is there is a new UK designed, made and manufactured, or made and manufactured is the same thing, but you know what I mean, all here within the UK. And I believe it's the guys down at the tunnel. And if those of you that don't know what the tunnel is, actually I should have had this one prepared for you. So it's a fantastic facility, and it's fantastic in the sense that they're all about making it as easy as possible for people to get into shooting and to even just try shooting. And I'm a big fan, and I say all the time, you need to get people pulling triggers. Once people start pulling triggers, and they've actually, pulling a trigger on a gun instantly dispels loads of myths, loads of misinformation about firearms and shooting. So if you get people pulling those triggers, then it's only going to be a good thing for the sport. So I've got an older video here. This was a couple of years ago, I think it was, but it was shooting a 50 cal BMG, or 50 BMG, as you're going to see the title says. Let's get that on the screen for you. And this is all at a tunnel, so it's only at 100 yards, 100 meters, so you might say a little bit of a waste for 50 BMG, but really it doesn't matter. And there's me just waffling on as usual. There's a nice bit of muzzle flash for it, and this is, you don't need an FAC for this, you don't need an RFD, you can just turn up, make a booking. I believe they're still doing it. They did stop this for a while because of a few issues, but I believe it's still going on, but they do a number of different experiences down there, and it's just a great facility. Oh, there we go. There's Captain again. Let's get rid of that. So you see, just surprises, always surprising us. So it's a great place. So if you're looking at getting into shooting and starting out, or just want to experience shooting for the first time, I can highly recommend going down to the tunnel. It's not just 50 BMG. You can go and do 2.2 semi-automatic shooting. You can do some gallery shooting with 357, 38, 44, whatever really takes your fancy. And there is a fantastic shop, which is also a magload dealer plug. Get that one in there, down there. So if you're after any magload bits and you want to see it in the flesh, then head down to the tunnel and you can see it there. But obviously other guns and other products. But the big news, I keep trying to get onto it, is the T2 rifle. Now I'm gonna have to be completely honest that I don't know anything more than anyone else. I've seen the video going around. I shared that video on the English Shooting Facebook page. If you're not following that, if you haven't liked that, go and like it, because you do get a little bit of a sneak peek before the live stream of pretty much everything we're going to be talking about, and any sort of instant news. It's the best way to get something out there like a new UK made rifle. So for those of you that don't know about UK firearms law, the reason we have such an obsession with 2.2 rifles is because we're in semi-automatic, we are only allowed 2.2 rimfire, so we make, or try to make, the absolute best from what we have access to. Of course, with 2.2 rimfire, that's not just long rifle, that's WMR as well, and WMR seems to be getting a lot more popular. Personally, and I've said this before on the stream, I don't get the huge appeal of it. Yes, further distances, yes, if everyone started using them and we had, say, IPSC mini rifle competitions in 2.2 WMR, it would be fantastic because you'd be able to simulate longer distances like full bore rifle shooting. However, 2.2 WMR is not permissible under IPSC as it stands, and other competitions and championships don't allow it either. So it's a bit of a niche. It's also quite hard to get hold of 2.2 WMR in any large quantity, and it's considerably more expensive. But something different, something new, it's something that we can own here, so we might as well take advantage of it. And there's been a few WMRs over the past few years. I think the most well known is the Guncraft, and I've had mixed dealings with that. Today, as it stands, the rifle is absolutely fantastic, really, really reliable. When they first came out, there were a few issues. They have now been completely fixed, and actually Connors was involved in a little bit of the sort of design of what makes that rifle now fully reliable. So he knows it quite well. I've had some reasonable hands-on experience with it. There's also the Northwest Custom Parts 2.2 WMR as well. So there's a couple of options, and now we have a new kid to the block. So I'll stop teasing you. Excuse me. And this is it. So this is the website. If you want to learn more about it, then it's t2rifles.co.uk, and you can see instantly that they're already planning 3 calibers. The first, I believe, coming out is the 2.2 WMR. That's what all the advertisement has been about. That's what the video is about. And with the loss of the Mars and lever release rifles, 9mm straight pulls are becoming more popular. I've yet to see one out in the wild, but Caliber Innovations do have one. I've seen various videos of it working, and I believe they are available. I know Lantac was teasing people about doing one. We haven't seen anything more from that. And of course, now this T2 rifle, or rifles, is going to bring out a 9mm straight pull. So anybody that had a lever release from Southern Gun Company, well, you're going to have a 9mm rifle slot. This is going to slot right in there. Yes, very punny. Of course, 223 straight pull, very popular here in the UK. So whilst we can't own a semi-automatic AR15 in a full bore cartridge, we can have a straight pull version. So that's why, again, we are nuts about our straight pull versions of ARs here in the UK, and a 300 blackout. Again, not a particularly new thing on the market, but they are rare, and it is pretty rare to see one out on the range. So being the UK shooting community that we are, you would think that everything is sweetness and light with all of this, and unfortunately, it's already descended into a reasonable amount of politics. Now, the first sticking point and the first complaint that I have seen so far is the price. So the Guncraft and the Northwest Custom Parts, I believe, are in the sort of £1,000 to £1,500 bracket. This T2 rifle, I don't know if it's on this page or not, somewhere. It's somewhere on this website. I believe is starting at about £1,800, and that's the base price. So it would be interesting to see exactly what you get on that rifle for the base price. So in terms of 2.2 WMR, it's going straight in there at the top spot. I'm actually going to just confirm that. Let's bring that down. I'm just going to go to Guncraft and have a look at, there's 2.2 WMR. Let's bring that back up. This is when I've got it all completely wrong, and it's like £2,500. Oh, 1650. Okay, so I was close. I think the Northwest Custom Parts is a little cheaper than that, but this is coming in straight away at a good £150 more. There is a price somewhere. Let's hunt down this website. Well, you can see that there's not a huge amount on here. Still a lot of things coming soon. Have I just been completely blind and it's been on here the whole time? I cannot see it anywhere. I was literally reading this right before the stream, and now I can't find where it is. There we go. So 1850. So it's £200 more than the Guncraft, and I think the reason why is that this is a pretty much a bespoke rifle. I'm trying to find pictures of it. Let's have a look at the oh, here we go. So we've got the video of it there. That's probably the best one to watch, and it comes with a case. I mean, great. I can't see people really going abroad with these necessarily, but here we go. That's the marketing video for it. It's great that it's you know, a new rifle made in the UK, coming in straight away at the top spot in terms of price is instantly going to put a lot of people off. But as you can see, it's a very distinctive rifle. I can see this being very, very Marmite. I can see people absolutely loving this or absolutely despising it. I think another issue, and again, it's not completely clear from the website, is a lot of, well, everything seems to be proprietary, well, the upper and lower. What they're doing, I think, is creating a system. So they're saying that all the uppers and lowers will be the same regardless of caliber for this rifle, but I don't know if it is compatible with other AR15 uppers and lowers, so you won't be able to necessarily switch it all around. But it does look mil-spec in terms of, say, the mag release, the trigger, the stock, obviously, the grip. So you are going to be able to drop in a number of upgrade mil-spec upgrades into it. I've just seen the main complaint being A, the price, and B, the look. There's probably the best image of it. Again, very distinctive. I mean, it's different. Absolutely, it's different. And personally, am I gonna want to go out and buy one straight away? Probably not, because again, I don't have a huge draw for the 22 WMR cartridge, and at 1850, that's a lot of money. I mean, you can go and buy 3 1522s with that, and you know how much I love my 1522. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Oh, okay, lots of Lantec comments, great. No, Lantec is not making a 22 WMR, but if you want to go and ask them on their Facebook page if they are, be my guest. Just make sure you screenshot it for me for the lols. So what are you guys thinking? Daniel Smerald going on about the NRL 22. Love you, Daniel. You're like a broken record, though. We're still not convinced that 22 WMR is permissible in NRL. You seem very adamant that it is. Yeah, David Kiddle, same price as a 223. Like, but then some people go and spend £3,000-4,000 on a 22 long rifle. I mean, the Battle Arms Ambi, the BAD Ambi that I reviewed, I think that was a £3,500 rifle, and you could have made it more expensive as well. It wasn't like the absolute ultimate that it could be. Price, I think, is going to be the biggest factor in this, but again, fantastic to see made in the UK, made in Britain. I can't really say anything more until they've gone out there in the wild. So I believe the first batch is going to be well, soon. I think on the website it said February. So by the end of February, we should start seeing these out in the wild. I know there's a number of people that are adamant they're getting one. And of course, being say a platform and only having to buy uppers. So you go and buy, say, your 22 WMR for your 1850. Yep, maybe on a little bit of the expensive price. But for a full machined billet AR, you know, custom designed, you know, it's not, compared to say like the Guncraft, which is a forged receiver set, you can see where the money's going in there. And obviously, if you want other calibers, if you want a 223, if you want a 9mm straight pull, and you want a 300 blackout, well, why not? If you've got the other three, and you can have it all within this platform, and just go and buy uppers, then it becomes a little cheaper. So you go to your range, you have your 4 uppers, and then you just keep dropping them onto the lower. You're going to save money over, over the long term, but you can already do that with an AR. I don't really know, why wouldn't you make it? It might be completely mil spec and completely compatible with other uppers and lowers from different brands. I think it says uppers that are designed for 2.2 and to work with specific magazines. But it seems, I think overall my impression is this might be trying to reinvent the wheel. It's absolutely great. I know I'm not going to say their name because I'm not 100% sure it's who's behind it, but if it is who I think is behind this rifle, which is very likely, they know what they're doing 100%, and I would have absolutely every faith that this is going to run smoothly, it's going to run reliably. They are one of only 2 people that I'm aware of that can get a UTAS competition ready and reliable. That's a feat in itself. So 2.2 WMR probably a bit easier than getting a UTAS working. So yeah, we have to wait and see. But in terms of the politics, and I have to say that this is all unconfirmed, but I've had a number of messages about this, and obviously with 2 fairly well-known WMRs on the market, the Guncraft and the Northwest Custom Parts, there was always going to be a little bit of, we did it first. Oh, you're jumping on the WMR bandwagon. But there have been quite serious allegations of complete copying. Apparently, a lot of people are saying that the bolt is a complete rip-off of the Guncraft, and I've heard through other people as well that Northwest Custom Parts aren't particularly happy. They believe a lot of designs have been pinched to do that. I can't comment on how valid those are. At the end of the day, we're talking about mil-spec AR15s. It's like there's always going to be similarities. It's like a Ford and a Vauxhall. They're going to have 4 wheels. They're going to have 4 doors, let's say. They're going to have a boot. They're going to have a steering wheel. They're going to have a gear knob, stuff like that. There's always going to be some area where they're going to overlap and they're going to be quite similar. And of course, to get a AR15 and 2.2 WMR, there are similar changes that have to be made to work with the WMR cartridge. At the end of the day, it's the same cartridge that all of these guns are firing. So again, they're going to share a lot of similarities. But it is a little bit of let me get my words. It is a little bit of a shame that we've got this made in Britain. People seem to be instantly put off because of the price. That wouldn't be the first time a new product's been released that people have gawped at the price, but to have all this sort of bickering and politics behind it, it's like same old. But anyway, that's where it is. If you want to go and check out more, t2rifles.co.uk. I'm going to be watching it very closely. I would be very, very interested in going and getting my hands on one. I'll probably get in contact with the tunnel and see if we can arrange that to make a review video and get a maybe a first look with it, so we see how that goes. So yeah, anyway, what are you guys talking about? Been completely neglecting you, showing you all that. Yes, I'm on the jungle juice. I hope you are too, because this is the only way to get through lockdown. So the rail would be the first thing to dump. The rail again is a complete bespoke design. I'm looking at it, and you guys can't see it because I haven't got it up on the screen. Let's bring it up. That rail is again their design, made here. Is there any close up of it? Again, there's not a huge amount out there of it. You can see from that video. I mean, marketing videos of guns functioning, people go, oh, it must work because look, they've got a video of it. Yeah, like how many takes did that take? I'm not saying it's unreliable. I'm just saying I am aware of a number of guns that have been made to look more reliable in the past than they actually are. I'm sure you can take a guess at what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's different. I mean, you want to stand out the range. You want something that no one else has, or no one's going to turn up to the range with something similar. Then this is probably going to be the rifle for you. So, but yeah, that's probably all I can say until they actually get out there in the wild, and until we can start seeing the long-term longevity of them. Still have a WMR slot on my ticket, but you fancy a Kel-Tec. Of course, there is the Kel-Tec. It's Caliber Innovations that have those, although I think they're currently out of stock. David, can you get some more? I've made a number of UK Kel-Tec CMR 30s from David, the horse's mouth there. So David, it sounds like there's more people that want them. Again, this is why we have this obsession with these sort of like weird guns. Probably Americans and other people across the world are looking at that going, why do we get so hyped up about these things? It's because, you know, we're very limited in what we can have. So something cool like the Kel-Tec, you know, I've managed to see one in the flesh and see it run. It's something you're not going to see you're not going to see anything else like it down the range. And, you know, in the UK, once you have a straight pull, once you have a 2.2 semi-automatic and a, you know, 308 bolt action and underlever, you know, the whole plethora of normal guns, well, where do you go from there? Where do you go to sort of keep things fresh and keep things interesting? And that's why we see things like the Scorpion, the 2.2 long rifle Scorpion that came out of Caledonian Classic Arms. You know, it's not something you're going to see in competition, but it's something fun. It's something different. The Stryborg. Again, you know what I'm probably talking about. There's a review of it on the channel. Highly impressed with that. Personally, I thought that was more of a gimmick, sort of fun plinking gun. I really do think it has some potential in the competition circuit. Again, these guns keep popping up. It's new. They're legal for us to own here. So, you know, take advantage of it, grow your collection, and have something different to take down the range for every day in the month. So yeah, that's pretty much everything on the T2 rifle. Again, t2rifles.co.uk if you want to see anything more. So before we move on, any other questions, any topics while I'm looking at Chris Smith? I'm going to have to ban you. That's just not, no, we will not have that. Although saying that, I'm not, so some of you may be aware of my my weekend toy, let's just call it, the Cayman GT4. I'm not actually a Porsche nut. I know there's owners out there that are like religious and devout. I never actually liked the brand. I still sort of don't like the brand, mainly because of the people that tend to drive their cars. Maybe that's saying something about it. But I'm not going to get defensive on it. You know, at the end of the day, I got enough comments having the Civic Type R, which looks like it had crashed through Halfords backwards. And my retort to people all the time was, okay, yeah, it might look a bit silly, but let's find a track and we'll see what you say afterwards. Have you seen the Silverstone race package for the Vector 2700? I thought it was a troll. Oh yes, I have. So that sort of is a nice segue. Not the main point of Silverstone Shooting Centre I wanted to talk about this evening, but as it would have it, well, you're saying 2,700. I can only see the £1,500 one. So some of you may be aware there is a range facility and gun builder, if you can call it that, optics builder. So Silverstone Shooting Centre, they are very big fans of the Chris Vector. I'm still trying to work out why. Every single raw bit of footage you seem to see out there in the wild, it's jamming or you're having issues with it, and everyone that seems to be anywhere near it at a competition says that it's just constant issues after issues. So this is the Vector Elite race gun. I think that's slightly misleading advertising right there from the start. Elite race gun, fuck's sake. But yeah, so for a gun that would cost you I think £800 normally, what do you get for that? Well, it's that's a Hawk scope, of course. Hawk, well known for their mini rifle competition optics, and aim point. Okay, yeah, a little better there, but why have that aim point at 45 degrees? Maybe you want something like like a little smaller on there, like a shield or maybe a vortex, but anyway, each their own. Again, I still don't get what the fuck this is all about. The mag pouch on the side, but that's included there, and you get a handguard that looks to be heavier than the old one and more bulky. And what's that, a torch or a laser? Again, I know people that shoot at Froome are going to say you need a laser, you need a light on your gun for their dark stages. That is, as far as I'm aware, the only range in the country that does sort of dark shooting. So to have it as a sort of straight off the bat package, actually let's just see what it says. After 9 months of developing, you mean 9 months of trying to get it work and still not getting it working. Crisp Vector, so 12-inch barrel. So I think, yeah, shortened barreled. So it's been shortened, recrowned, and proofed. A job that you can usually go and get any competent gunsmith to do for 50 quid. The crisp front handguard, again, I don't think it's necessarily an upgrade. The muzzle brake, sorry, is that a 223 muzzle brake that a 2.2 rimfire wouldn't generate enough gas to be effective? Probably, so it's more there for decoration. Competition titanium firing pin. Well, don't get Connor started on a titanium firing pin. He really doesn't like them, and there have been various batches of titanium firing pins on the open market in the UK that have caused people a lot of issues. Competition hardened extractor. Okay, that can't be a bad thing. A little bit more reliability, although even on my 1522, which has had over 30,000 rounds put it, I'm still on the original firing pin and extractor, so meh. Competition extractor spring. Right, okay. And Hogue AR adjustable stock. I thought that was a Magpul. Oh no, it's a Hogue. Okay. So yeah, you're getting that. So all of that, you're getting a Hawk optic, an aim point dot, a useless magazine pouch, a handguard that doesn't seem to really offer that much, a muzzle brake that won't do anything, and an upgraded stock for a tidy sum of £700. Each to their own. But someone's saying there's a... Florence is saying it's a laser sight. So wait. You've got a scope, a dot, and a laser for mini rifle. Right, okay. On an unrelated note, never go full retard. Just don't do it. So where's this £2,700 one? Because I think this is actually one that was put in. It's the same gun. It's literally the same photo. So you're giving 1,200 quid for what, a happy ending? I wouldn't be so happy. So what do you get for the additional 1,200 quid over the previous package? So that's the same. That's the same. Oh, did the other one not come with the scope? I don't know. It's so confusing. Maybe put a picture without the bloody scope on it. Well, it's a Hawk. It's £2.50 anyway. Mounts, Hawk mounts. Okay, about £1.50. 45-degree red dot. Okay, so you'll get. So it's mainly the scopes. So for an extra 1,200 quid, you'll get in a Hawk scope and a 45-degree aim point, which I would be taking off straight away and putting something smaller on there. Gun-mounted mag holster. Oh, did you not get that? Let's get the other one up side by side, shall we? Because this is just confusing. Maybe this is the marketing tactic. Confuse them enough that they just give you your money. Let's compare it side by side. Where's it? Bloody thing. Anyway, I think you can get the general impression that I don't advise getting this rifle for mini rifle competition, and I certainly don't advise spending £2,700 on it. There's like, you could buy for £2,700. You could buy a 1522, a Razor Gen 3, Razor HD Gen 3, more mags than you're going to know what to do with, and still have change. Like, some people hate money, I guess. Okay, so you get an extra. Okay, so you get all of that, basically. You get all of that extra for 1,200 quid. So is that 1,200 quid's worth? No. I don't know. Perhaps Hawk have entered the premium market and they're charging a pretty penny for them. Anyway, that's so people were talking about the, what do I think about the Chris Vector Elite race gun package? Not a lot, really. I really do think you would be better off going into the street and setting fire to £2,700. So certainly, in comparison, any doubts or reservations about the T2 rifle, a bargain, like, because that's probably actually going to work and is actually suited to mini rifle competition. That's enough. Shall we carry on? Let's. Oh no, you can't, Arius. You can't talk about Olight near Dan. He will spontaneously combust like Olight. So yeah, and anyway, don't want it exploding on me. Yes, Olight do seem to have a bit of an issue with that in terms of overheating and self-combusting torches. I mean, I think it's just a feature. It's usually pretty cold here in the UK, and if you're using it outside, you might get a bit chilly. It just warms you up. I don't think I've actually got my Olight here. No, I don't. I have to say, I was really impressed with the Olight. It did get a little bit toasty, but they give you a nice little pouch so you don't burn yourself. Don't want to be putting it in your pocket and turning it on because you might get third-degree burns. But I think there is a affiliate link for the channel. You know what the deal is. I'm not saying that you should rush out and go and buy one. If you come to the decision on your own that you want to go and buy one, go find the video of the Olight and use that affiliate link, because then you help support the channel. And in terms of supporting the channel, there's nearly 140 people watching. Thank you very much for joining. There's got to be a lot of new people in there, so thanks for finding the channel. And only 46 likes, so it's free. You can hit the like button, you put a smile on my face, and it helps support the channel. It helps with the analytics, and also for anyone new tuning in, this is a UK shooting channel. We are very professional, unbiased, and completely clean. No issues here. You certainly don't want to look at any of the other ruffians of channel. This is the gold standard, so you might as well just hit subscribe. You've already reached the pinnacle of UK shooting YouTubing. So yeah, stick around, hit subscribe, hit like, help the channel. So what are you guys talking about? 99% of the day is reeing. Is that just 99% of a day spent at Silverstone Shooting Centre? We might as well just get straight into it on that one, right? I was gonna tease you guys and wait until the end, because I know a lot of you have tuned in specifically to talk about this. So I do want to. I'm going to be fair, impartial, and professional about this. Some of you may be aware that the Michael Hepsworth gold standard shit posting, always, absolutely always. If you want to see me at my shit posting best, head over to the UK Shooting Discord. Somebody will. Oliver's here, so it's your responsibility, Oliver. Please hit the Discord link so people can go and join it. I go into the Discord after every stream, so if you want to sort of chat one-on-one and you want to see me at my shit posting best, then head over to that. So anyway, Silverstone Shooting Centre again. This, I should have just named this the Silverstone Shooting Centre special for this evening. They were running the Hawk Mini Rifle Championship. Now, the word on the street, I can neither confirm nor deny, but what a lot of people feel is the only reason that championship was actually created in the first place was to get back at certain organisations and to stick it to them. So not necessarily the best motivation, not necessarily the best main sponsor. Again, I've got a Hawk. I've had several Hawks over my sort of shooting time. They've got a place. They've got a place within the market. Mini rifle competition, I just don't see it being there. But I'm not necessarily just shitting on the brand for the sake of it. I've bought loads of their scopes and they've done the job absolutely fantastic. I would just never put one on a mini rifle. So anyway, the Hawk Mini Rifle Championships was presented as one of these sort of showcase championships that was going to really sort of lift the lid on UK shooting sports to the greater public, and it was going to be shown on TV, and it was going to gain loads of publicity, and it was going to be fantastic to the sport, regardless of any issues I might have with the range and range owner. It was still going to be beneficial, no matter what quality of the video, no matter what was actually, well, to a point, what was put out. It was going to be good, because ultimately new people are going to see it. People that probably don't even know that you can own a gun in the UK, never mind go and do something like practical shooting with it. And I think talking, it was back when we were in the gun room, and I had my buddy Connors, who I am missing dearly. I have him there watching over me, over my desk, so he's here in spirit. And we discussed it at the time, and I said, you know, regardless of what I think, it's good for the sport if it's going out and reaching new people. However, my reservation at the time was, well, is it actually going to go ahead with all of the shitstorm that was going on around that championship? And after the first match and first couple of matches, a number of people coming to me and saying, it's not worth it. I'm not going back. I'm not continuing with it. I'm not getting any value for the competition. They're not run to a particularly high standard. They're not really showcasing the pinnacle of the sport. And you know, so I had doubts that the TV series would actually get off the ground to begin with. But then my other reservation was, well, actually, judging on previous videos that the company has put out, how is this going to represent the sport as a whole? If the videos are low quality, if they're low resolution, if they're not well, you know, if the footage isn't good, if the editing isn't good, then it's potentially going to make us look old-fashioned or amateurish. And you know, when you have certain organizations that are doing absolutely everything possible to ensure that the sport comes across professional, that we are seen as sportsmen and women, we're not just seen as shooters, we are seen as, you know, elite sports persons. And then when sort of low quality videos are going out there, people aren't going to see that. They're just going to see, oh, this just looks like a bunch of guys in a field and someone's filming it with their iPhone. But oh, hello Rack, cheers for joining, Neil. Good to see you. So yeah, those are my reservations, and unfortunately, pretty much every single one of them has come true. Now, I am going to say straight away that it is a crying shame, regardless of what was going to be put out. It was at the very least going to introduce more people. Depending on the quality, the editing, and the footage, it could potentially have increased, encouraged more people. But it was always going to have, I think, a net gain. I don't think anyone was ever going to watch that and go, well, I'm giving up shooting because of that video. We were always going to see a net gain for it. And we've seen this before, like with the BBC Two program that I did. And whilst it had negative sort of connotations and a negative theme to it, from speaking to organizations to speaking to ranges, they saw a direct uptick in requests from that. The whole thing with Sean O'Neill, again, the UK PSA saw massive increases in membership inquiries, applications, and there's just a general buzz on the website and videos and so on and so forth. So, you know, all publicity is good publicity. So it's a shame. It's absolutely a shame. And then I'm also going to caveat it in another thing, is that no one really knows what's going on here. No one knows. Whilst we've sort of seen one side of the story or heard one side of the story so far, we don't know what's going on. And it could be that Silverstone Shooting Centre has done absolutely everything right, that they have fulfilled all their obligations in the contract between them and the TV company, and the TV company has just been a bunch of wankers, and at the last minute have got cold feet because it's guns and they're black scary guns and they're sinister looking, and they've pulled it. That could be that could very much be the case. And if that is the case, then I have a lot of sympathy, because again, regardless of the quality, there has been a lot of time put into it. There's been a lot of effort put into it. I know what it takes to film matches. I know what it takes to excuse me, need some jungle juice. No, Neil, of course not. No, we're your videos are lovely. They have a certain charm to them. That's how I put it anyway. They regardless of quality of the match videos, a lot of money, time, and effort had been put into it, and to potentially have that just for no obvious, for no really legitimate reason, to have that pulled from under you would be horrendous, and I would have a lot of sympathy for it. However, a lot of people that I've spoken to do not think that is the case. They think that more has been bitten off than they could chew. There's been some people feel that there is an air of arrogance about it, that, well, I know what I'm doing, I can do this, blah 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 blah. And the footage that have coming out, and I don't want to sit here and go, whose videos are best, right? That's not a game. I mean, Neil, because you're here, I'll use you as an example. Neil has almost double the subscribers of EnglishShooting, right? So whose videos are better, right? It's not just down to, it's an accumulative thing when it comes to videoing. So I don't like getting into these. You can say, oh well, that these videos are higher resolution, okay, but these are more entertaining, right? The content's better on these ones, but the editing's better on this. So it's very hard to narrow down, and I don't want to get into that, but my objective opinion is those videos are very amateurish, and honestly, depending on what has been paid for those videos, I'd be asking for the production company to give me my money back. First of all, 480p. Who uploads in 480p? And again, Neil, I'll use you an example. Like, you upload in 1080p, right? Like, you wouldn't think of uploading anything lower than that unless it was some spectacular bit of footage that you'd captured on a potato cam, and the only way to show it was in that low resolution. You see loads of things like that, like where you just have something to hand and you've got the clip, and the clip alone is good enough to just put it out there. But to purposely go in, I don't know, like, how do you even get a camera now that only does 480? And this is supposedly a professional media company, and they're uploading videos in 480p. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I think the quality of the videos and potentially the footage and the editing could have played a part in why they don't want to be shown on TV. You can't show TV shows in 480p. It just doesn't work. The other theories that I've heard is that it's been and again, this is all sort of rumor and speculation. I'm not stating any of this as fact, but a lot of other people's theories have been that it was actually never going to happen. There was nothing in place, and it was just being, things were being promised that weren't actually signed on the dotted line, so on and so forth. The other thing is sponsors. There's been a lot of sponsors that have put a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort into those. Where do they stand now? Now, I'm sure I forgot where I was going to go with that. It's the jungle juice. I'm getting hot. I'm getting frazzled. I'm getting worked up. Maybe I should calm down. Maybe we should change the maybe we should change the subject. The sponsors have put, that's it. That's what I was going to say. I'm sure the sponsors have signed up and have donated have given what they have given on the promise that they're going to get the TV time, which actually from the report seems to be the biggest sticking point. That seemed to be where everything went downhill, because again, this was from the Silverstone Shooting Centre, have said that the film and TV company, or the TV company, didn't want to show any firearm companies, so they axed it because of that. Basically, it was either remove all of the sponsors or we axe the show. Now, but bearing in mind the owner and operator of Silverstone Shooting Centre claims to have previously been a lawyer, and I just find it very odd that a TV company would be able to break a contract like that without any recourse. Now, again, perhaps Silverstone Shooting Centre have been royally shafted here, and perhaps they are going to go after them for damages, and perhaps the sponsors are going to receive some sort of compensation or remuneration, reimbursement for what they have given them, have donated and have given. But we'll have to see. Again, there's so much stuff going out in the air. It's just, there's a lot of fishiness to it. There's a lot of theories out there that seem to make a lot more sense than what has actually been stated on the record. And furthermore, you've really got to think, when you're an RFD and you're running a Home Office approved range and you have a firearm certificate and potentially a shotgun certificate, and you go and tell a respected qualified RO and a division rep for for an organization to fuck off over this, you sort of have to, like, again, the general attitude, the general demeanor just seems to be a little bit wrong and a little bit fishy, and I think that's absolutely disgusting. I know I'm not necessarily one to throw stones in my glass house over here about conducting yourself online, but you know, there is a standard at which you are held for an FAC holder. There is a standard at which you are held to be an RFD, and then combine that with a Home Office approved club. That is a very high standard that you need to be hitting. And to go around telling other respected people within the community to fuck off, just, and you know, I'm not going to show, if you want to go and see them, go into the Discord. Another reason, Ollie, hit the link. It's just not very good, and this is one of my issues. This has been, you know, in terms of going on my personal issues, which I'm sure some of you are all aware of, in terms of between me and Silverstone. It's the attitude online. It's the arrogance online. Again, I can put my hands up and say that I've been guilty many a time of doing that. The thing is, I've seemed to have, potentially, this might be going too far, potentially have been maturing over the past few years. Certain people seem to be going downhill over the past few years, so we'll have to wait and see. But it does baffle me that, you know, I get told about, you know, my conduct with firearms and my conduct online and all of this, and that, you know, I'm obviously a danger to the public for, you know, and I can't have an FAC, and then I watch people doing this, you know, and RFDs and range owners acting like that. It's just a bit weird. Not forgetting the absolute gem. Do I have it? I should. Let's give this a little look, shall we? No, I won't do it. I'm genuinely not here to that would just be maybe stirring the pot a little bit too much. There was let's just say a little bit of raw footage that was left on the end of a video that was recently put out by Silverstone. The safe handling of firearms, or the lack thereof, was quite alarming, to say the least, again, for somebody that runs a Home Office approved club. So I've got various nitpick issues, and I think the biggest issue overall is that there are actually a number of people, including myself, I'll put it out there, that would offer a helping hand, because it is a fantastic facility. It is only getting bigger and better. It's going to eventually become second only to Bisley, and my God, do we need something like Bisley, something else like Bisley that isn't run by the NRA. So it's a shame, and there's loads of people that would be willing to help, you know, help with the matches, help with marketing, help with videos, this, that, and the other. I just think there's a little bit too much ego and pride getting in the way. And I will, you can hold me to it, if anyone needs a hand promoting the sport, and it's for the good of the sport and not just to line somebody else's pockets, then yes, like I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always open to help. At the end of the day, I do this full time. Okay, Magload's my full time, but luckily the way things work is I have a lot of flexibility in what I can go and do elsewhere. And I'm always here to help grow the sport. I'm always here to get new people into the sport. I just think some people need to, you know, watch their pride, watch their ego, and accept the help where it's being offered. Captain Correct, you mature. Just not in the Discord. The Discord is where I have to be so careful everywhere else. Alex Florence, best unload ever. Yes, yeah. Well, again, for just not leaving you in the dark, what happened is that they were firing at the line. Kel Surprise, there was a jam with the Chris. Cleared that, carried on shooting. Ended up dropping the mag, muzzle up, and then walking behind the line to go and put the gun back in the gun rack, I can assume. This was off shot. And then, like, 20 seconds later or 10 seconds later, comes back into frame, lowers the gun, and fires the remaining round in the chamber. Yeah, clenchy bum time. So just, you know, go to Silverstone. Just make sure all the guns are clear. That's all I'm saying. Alex Florence and I have another story about another shooter who done fucked up at some point, leaving a round in a chamber after shooting it. It was Alex Lawrence's gun. He went to go and get it after lunch, and went to charge a round, use the charging handle, and a round fell out, and he was like, oh, that was in the gun bag loaded. Well, he wasn't the one that last used it before lunch, but I'm sure Alex knows exactly who I'm talking about and knows exactly the story. That was also the day Mr. Florence trapped his fingers in a Harris bipod, and I do have the footage somewhere. I will find it and I will show it at some point on a live stream because it's absolutely hilarious. There's also the yes, Alex, it would. There is. Unfortunately, you guys are not going to be able to hear it, but I'm going to have to show you it anyway. And Alex knows what's coming. He knows what's coming. This is... what gun was it? It was the SXP, wasn't it? And I think I've talked about this on live stream plenty times before. Thank you very much, Wonderloaf. Is that the going price of a Hovis? By any chance? Or are you more of a Warburtons? What did you think I was going to post, Alex? Oh, how much do you love me? I would start donating, Alex, if I was you. I'd absolutely start donating right now before I blow your life apart. Needless to say, Alex seems to have whenever Alex and I meet up and go and do anything, there's always stories for days. So anyway, this is a really, really old video. Mainly because I had hair and I was slim. Let's show you this. So this was, I believe it was actually Alex's gun that he lent me for review. It's a section 2, so no problem at all. There he is. There's actually Alex shooting his gun. I donate in biltong. Yes, you. To be fair, although I haven't had some, Alex, for a while, so pull your finger out. So anyway, at the back of this video, after shooting it, it was quite hot. There's a lovely shot of him. Please, everyone, take that as a screenshot and do what you want with it. So after all of us having a go with this gun, I pass it to him via the grip and go, fuck me, that's hot, like, be careful. So what does he do? Grabs it straight round the rib. The funny, you can't really see his reaction. I'm so sorry, Alex. You're gonna hate me. Let's see if I can get the. I think that's the oh hello, and we have this this saying where when one of us is being particularly silly, we're just oh hello. It's just one of those things, and I think that's maybe the hello in hello. Oh, what a beautiful face there. So yeah, it's unfortunate you can't hear it. Was actually, can you hear it on? Let's try this. Actually, I can. This is real technology. Let's see if this picks up on the mic. I'll turn it right up and tell me if you can. Actually, if I just turn the mic. Oh no, that's definitely going to break. Let's see if we can hear this. Oh, it brings back memories. There we go. Man, that gets hot. Oh, hello. Needless to say, giggles were had. I don't know if you could hear that. Anyway, I heard it. Made me laugh. That's all that matters. Something else we'll be talking about a bit later, but we'll leave that for now. What are you guys talking about? What are you talking? He almost cocked up there, lol. What? Oh, yes. Yeah, probably went to tell something he didn't want. I'm not driving all the way to yours just to deliver biltong. Okay, well, maybe I should find a bit of tissue. I'm sure I've got one laying around here somewhere. I might have to modify it for effect, and I'm sure we'll just leave it here. I wouldn't do that to you. You do it enough to yourself, to be fair. Although actually, I do have a safe for work image of Alex actually in the Maglode office. let's have a look-ski here. Let's see if I can find this. Again, brilliant. Like we always get up to silly things. So it's a great company to work for. Because we have creative freedoms. Let's just say. Let's see if I can find it. It won't take me too long. Come on. We ended up diversifying the business and ended up printing some 3D printed penises. Yes, some black ones as well. Oh, well, that's just this isn't anything relevant at all. But I've just stumbled upon this, which I just thought you all needed to see, because that is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's carry on. I will find this. I will find this picture. It's worth the wait. I promise. Oh, come on, where is it? And Facebook is not liking this. Anyway, Facebook is taking too long, and I'll move on. Basically, it is a picture of Alex. Oh, actually, I can show you. Maybe that's going to be a quicker way if I just show it on the phone. It's a little bit lazy. But yeah, so we ended up printing some 3D printed penises, and because obviously Magload, we have a load of magnets, we made them magnetic. And it took a number of weeks for Alex to find this little gem. So the magnets work, that's all I can say. And I think, if I'm right, Alex, it was your dad that found it, which must have been some, that must have been a conversation and a half. Oh, I've just found something else. Oh, no, I must not do it. Let's find another one. So yeah, if anybody comes to Magload, be prepared. Your car will probably leave with more penises than what it came with, but that's just that's how we like to roll, really. Let's find, like, Alex, literally our messaging is literally just you sending pictures of penises in various ways on various locations. That's another one. That actually looks pretty OEM. That looks pretty stock. And let's see if you can see it. Again, I think that took at least a week for him to find. So yeah, just FYI, the GT4 is off limits. I am a certified danger to the public, and you'll find out why if anyone goes near that car with magnetic penises or hentai stickers. Daniel, it's not kosher. Anyway, Conrad, let's get off black magnetic penises and back onto guns, shall we? Conrad, what's the status of chamber inserts that convert 12 gauge to other calibers, i.e., e.g. 22 rimfire or 9mm? They are pressure bearing, so are they restricted? But they're not a firearm on their own. So what are they? Well, as you've said, they're pressure bearing, so they are a controlled part. This is really, you should look at it no differently than, say, like the Seiko Quad. Seiko Quad, you can have 4 different barrels and 4 different calibers on the same platform. So you would need a slot for every single barrel that you want on there, plus the rifle itself. Now, you can get into like weird situations where the gun and the barrel are on. So I had a Seiko Quad, and it was down as just one gun. So you could end up going and buying the gun with one barrel, and that's one slot on your FAC, and then you end up with 3 slots for each other barrel, making a total of 4 barrels. So you end up with a total of 4 slots. Or you could go and buy the gun without a barrel, that's a slot, and then go and buy the 4 barrels separately, and you would end up with 5 slots on there. And basically the sleeves are no different. You would need one, although actually that's an interesting one, because would then the shotgun itself become a section 1? So if you have a section 2 shotgun and you put a sleeve in it, whilst the sleeve would definitely be section 1, you would need a slot for it. Would the shotgun then itself become section 1? Because then, and once it's become section 1, unless you take it away for proof to be reclassified as section 2, it will always be section 1. So that's an interesting one. I mean, the sleeves themselves, absolutely, they would be, or the chamber inserts themselves, absolutely would be additional slots. It wouldn't be difficult to get a slot for. You just need the justification, and yeah, but the shotgun itself, you'd probably be better off. Well, no, it would be. I don't know. That's an odd one. I have a feeling you would need to sign. You would need to sign the shotgun on as a Section 1, maybe. I think that would probably be the safest route if you don't want to play around with prison, basically. Someone's saying chamber inserts are good to go if it's 12 gauge to 410. Rifle calibers are no-go. So Black Guinea Pig, what do you... why is it a no-go? They are the same as shotgun barrels. You do not need slots unless you go for rifle calibers. Then they are Section 1, so that's what I pretty much said. They are specifically mentioned in guidance as being fine, non-controlled if you have an SGC. So for anyone that doesn't know the differences, we have two main certificates within the UK, a shotgun Section 2 certificate or a firearm Section 1 certificate. The great thing about Section 2 and shotgun certificates is once you have one, you can buy and sell as many shotguns as you want. You can have 100 or 10. It doesn't matter. Once you've got that certificate, you can go and buy and sell as many as you want. However, with a firearm certificate, you need slots. You need permission for absolutely every single gun or every controlled component on that certificate, and you need to be able to demonstrate that proof. So when you sell a gun, well, when you buy a gun, you fill up one of those slots. When you sell the gun, you need to actually apply to get that slot freed up again. Otherwise, it just sort of disappears into the ether. So the reason that the chamber inserts for shotguns would not be, they would still be licensed because they are pressure bearing parts, but you wouldn't need to apply for them. You wouldn't need any special permission. You could just straight away sign them onto your certificate. But yeah, I'm interested to find out if putting a rifle insert into a Section 2 shotgun would make the shotgun Section 1 itself. I'm pretty sure it would be. Daniel S, do I need a new slot for an upper or for each serialized part, the barrel, the bolt, the upper? It depends. It would depend when you buy them. So if you buy them separately, you will need separate slots. If you buy them together as a made-up unit, then you would only need one slot. Now, the whole serialized thing, I believe this is something we have, yet again, the EU to thank for, is going to be it's pretty much every pressure-bearing part of a gun needs to be serial numbered. I remember speaking to, I think I've spoken to Otto from Cotswold Classic Arms about it, and also Rob from Guncraft, and they said it's an absolute nightmare and it doesn't achieve anything, because when you, going back to slots on a Section 1 firearm certificate, you only have a tiny little box to be able to write the serial number in. So if you have an AR15 and you're saying every controlled or pressure bearing part needs to be serial numbered, well, you're talking the lower, the upper, the barrel, the bolt. So you've got 4 parts there that are going to have 4 separate serial numbers. But the absolute cracker is the police themselves in their system, from what I've been told, don't have the facility to put in 4 or 5 separate serial numbers. So they just end up putting one in, or just put the gun serial number in, which completely negates the point of having all these different serial numbers if they're not actually being recorded by the police. So it's just a bit of a farce. It's like, you know, somehow by serializing individual parts or component parts is suddenly going to stop them from being stolen, is suddenly going to stop them from making them way onto the black market. And it's not like criminals have access to a Dremel and a serial number can be easily removed. And on the note of this was actually specifically Hampshire. I think we've talked about it before. There was the recommendation, like last year or the year before, of firearms owners, certainly within Hampshire, but I think this was like a national a national request for firearms owners to keep cases, spent cases of ammunition. So for anyone new to shooting, that's a 357. Can't tell you where I fired that, but there is some significance to it. I keep significant cases as mementos. So basically they're saying that keep these lying around for all of your guns, like keep 1 or 2 fired from your gun, because if your gun is stolen or is lost, they can use the cases to be able to identify guns that are then used in crime and trace it back and find where they came from. Apart from the fact that Basque, I'm pretty sure it's Basque, and I have to say I'll give them all the credit in the world for this, because it was absolutely glorious. They pretty much, in not so many words, turned around to Hampshire Firearms and said, what the fuck are you talking about? They were saying over the life of a firearm, the marks that the gun will make will change. So yes, if you buy a brand new gun, go and shoot it, keep a case, and then the next day it gets stolen, but then it's going to match up pretty well. And what we're talking about is the firing pin indentation, marks around the case where it's gone into the chamber, stuff like that, and also the markings of the bolt behind it. They are unique. It's like a gun fingerprint. I'm sure many of you have seen CSI with it. And I'm not talking about the bullet, I'm talking about the case itself. And basically it just sort of showed a pretty much a lack of understanding of how these things worked, and Basque just absolutely smacked them down on it, and it was glorious. I mean, I guess a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Anyway, moving on. I can see we have, again, more viewers than we have likes. How does that work? If you're sat here watching, you should be liking it, right? Because you wouldn't be watching it if you weren't liking it. So hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already. I would really appreciate it. We're all about sharing the sport, and with more numbers, more people, we can share the sport. Share the sport more. Of course, the live streams here are not specifically sponsored by Magload, but they might as well be. But there is a new product now. I haven't actually had explicit permission per se to talk about this product, but the production versions have now landed, and I can only see it being a matter of days before they are available on the website. And this has to be one of the most requested products for Magload. Wonderloaf, fine, dislike, just to be a dick. It's still engagement. Like, you can like it or dislike it. I obviously would much prefer likes, because it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. But it's all engages. It's like the people that there are 1 or 2 people that as soon as I release a video, dislike. It's like their lives are spent sat there refreshing the page. I mean, it's within like 30 seconds, right? It's like refresh, new video, dislike. And I'm like, but you've still clicked on the video, which gives you a view, and you've given a dislike, which is engagement. And then and the trifecta is when they give me a nasty comment, and I'm like, thanks for the extra engagement as well. But anyway, back onto this new glorious product. This has to be this in terms of products that we like, we get loads of requests for slight changes or minor modifications, but in terms of complete new products, this has to be the most request that we don't currently make, and they're here. It is a Magload. Now this, I have to caveat, this is a prototype, but the production ones landed today. I wasn't in the office today, but I had confirmation that it was. So the final ones will be slightly different, but maybe by like 5-10% if that's some minor tweaks. Now I'm going to defer. Thank you, Wonderloaf. That's another loaf of bread for me and the family. And I love you too. Oh, you little cutie. Gay. So Paul, some of you may know that Paul Wyborn works for Magload, and he is the current UK Action Air champion. He is one of the best Action Air shooters in the world. And I'm sure there's going to be a few of you going, oh, actually, they're just toy guns. Yeah. Go down to the range with Paul. If you can beat him, you can call his gun a toy. So we have it on good authority that Paul has like 7 or 8 president's medals. It's he is nuts, right? So he's going to know a thing or two about what's good. And again, this is made by shooters for shooters is a motto that we use quite a lot at Magload. It's true. We're all competitors. We're all shooters. We all like to think that we're at a reasonable standard, and Paul just makes us all look like shit. But when Paul first got this, he said it is without a doubt the stiffest 2-part belt that he's ever seen. I don't really know how to demonstrate it, but it's stiff. It really is. It is. One of the biggest problems, and it's actually got a few of the click systems here. For those of you that know, another Magload product. An issue when you have this on your belt is if you have your gun holstered, obviously it applies weight down to it, and it tries to bend it. I'm not just being weak. That it's stiff, right? And with your belt loops there, it's just not going to move. Your stuff is going to stay in place. And it is phenomenal when you start talking about belts, how much preference people have. Like that, it's got to have this or it's got to have that, and the amount of finite detail changes that were made to these belts over time to get something that we think everyone's going to love. So yes, keep an eye out on Magload on the Facebook page. That will be the first place that it is that you'll see that they have been put on the website. But also keep an eye on magload.co.uk because they will be going up there, I would imagine, within a week. And this is, well, maybe not this one. I have a slightly special one, let's just say, coming, and that is going to become my competition rig. And I am not someone that just, yes, obviously I'm going to be biased because Magload's what pays the bills. But Connor's certainly will not release something just for the sake of it. It has to, his sort of ethos is it has to be better, right? Why are we going to make something that is the same or worse? It has to be better. It has to offer more, or otherwise we're not releasing it. We're not just putting something out there for the sake of it. It has to offer more, and we believe that these offer more in terms of price. We need to. Oh, actually, that's what I was looking for earlier. I can find it, and it's right there. In terms of price, all I can say at the moment, I don't know if the final figure has been decided yet. They're going to be competitive for what they are compared to others on the market. It is a premium product. It's I believe we're going to lifetime warranty them like we do with everything. So you got a belt for life. And also what will come with the belts is this belt buckle. So you might have seen people use bits of Velcro, patches to basically one issue with 2-part belts is if you don't have the sort of belt loop, when you're running around, this tends to just pop off. So you need, that's actually pretty on there. So we have this belt buckle that slides perfectly into place. So that's never coming off now. That's locked into place because of that belt buckle. And it's also a click. So you've got an additional click there in the belt buckle. And that's why there's all the click breech flag holders that have come out. And it's intended. You don't have to have any other click on your belt. You can be using Tech Lock. You can be using Safariland. But if you're buying the belt from Magload, you're going to get the click belt buckle with it, or belt strap, or whatever you want to call it. And you can then buy a click breech flag, and it means you always have somewhere to put your breech flag, because it is an absolute pain looking for your breech flag when you don't know where it is. So yeah, new product. It's like a dark angel. So yeah, keep an eye on Magload if you're interested. How much for stiffness? Don't know how much you got. I'm not donating because I'm saving up to buy Magload range flags like crazy. Hopefully once my FAC comes through. Well, much appreciated. Either way, it helps support what we do. And yeah. Alex Florence telling everyone that he's lost weight. Congratulations. I didn't notice, if I'm going to be completely honest. Will Magload make one big enough for Dan's thick? Oh, now I don't feel so bad saying that. Enough for Dan's thickness. Yes, there's going to be a number of sizes. I think it's four or five sizes. We do have the Big Daddy size. We do have, again, this is sort of going to try and be as nice about Connors as possible. We have 3 different sizes within the office. We have Paul, who's an absolute skinny fuck, so you know we can use him as what's the smallest we need to do. There's myself, which is maybe on the larger side of things, and Connors, who maybe tests the largeness a little bit more than I do in the best way possible. And then if we really need to see, you know, the big daddy sizes, then we ask our beautiful sickness for the thickness friend, Mr. Daniel Smerald. I believe, Daniel, you have a funny story about a belt and the British Shooting Show. What about the PMag extenders? So that is another product as well that we've teased you enough times on the live stream. They are in production. We are expecting the first batch to come within, I think, 1 to 2 weeks. We need to then QC them, you know, color them, dye, or they might all be black. But anyway, if they need to be colored, that is what our sizes is going to be on the website from now on. Abso-fucking-lutely. Slim, chonky, thick. Yes. All the yes. Watch this space. Yeah, so the extenders, they are coming in. It's 1 to 2 weeks. Obviously, we then need to get photos of them, need to just check the QC, get them up on the website, so on and so forth. So that will be very, very soon. And actually, the current rifle weld shoot, the current IPSC rifle world champion, Yarko, I'm actually gonna get him up on the Instagram. So we were very, very happy and quite honoured actually when Yarko contacted Magload. He contacted us and was like, look, I love your stuff. Is there anything we can do? And without hesitating, it's gonna be quicker to do it on my phone. The wonders of technology, right? Without even hesitating, we said yes. You know, when a world champion comes to you and wants to use your products, you don't tell them no, because even if they're going to tell you all the things that are wrong with it, which to be honest, he hasn't yet said. He's just sung the praises of it. You know, you're going to get great feedback. You know, we want, you know, who's going to be able to give better feedback in terms of extracting the maximum performance out of something than a world champion? And that's, you know, that's the sort of feedback that we you know, some people will quite literally pay for. Yarko. So on his last post, you can actually see that, and he's the only one outside of the company that, how do you make this large? I can't Insta. You might be able to see there. I can't like pinch it and hold it. Nope, that's not working. Let's try that. That is one of the extensions on there. So let's see if I can get it. Oh, there we go. So he's the only one out there. He's done loads of testing with it. Again, you know, current rifle world champion, and he loves it. He's like, when can you send me more? And we're like, we literally only had 2, and we sent him one of them. So yeah, as soon as the production batch is in, he will be getting them. And also talk about Jenny. Magload has a new sponsored shooter, Jenny, who trains alongside Yarko. Both are Finnish. And she is striving to become the ladies world champion, and heading towards the world shoot in in Thailand. If you want to learn more about Jenny and Yarko, head on to maglo.co.uk and go into team. You can see all of that. But yeah, so Yarko has been testing that for a number of months now. He's had no complaints. He's just asking for more. So that gave us the confidence to be able to go, right, let's put them into production. So yeah, week or two down, and then we will sort you out. Alex Florence, how do you make this large? Something head. I mean, we all know it was your mum saying it. I'm just, hashtag just saying. You need 3 of those, please. Well, yeah, as soon as the batch is in, Dan, I will let you know. Did I see Peppy? Or did I say Ollie? Pray for Peppy. What's going on in the Discord? Shall we do it? Shall we brave it? This is going to go horribly wrong. So again, anyone that wants to get into shooting within the UK, you're finding it hard to find information, or I'm just completely ignoring your questions and you're desperately trying to get an answer from them, head over to the UK Shooting Discord. Ollie will put a link in right now. It's an interesting place. So let's go on here. So this is Discord. Simple. I talk about it every stream because we really want to grow it to get more people. Keep an eye out for Pappy. His life is a just revolving train wreck continuously, but he seems to enjoy it. So yeah, basically you've got all your Discords on the side there, on the left hand side, people messaging you. Yes, that is Smerald. And yeah, obviously I'm in the UK Shooting Discord here, and there's loads of different there's loads of different sort of subsections. So you can go general shenanigans. That's one you definitely don't want to enter beyond 10 o'clock at night. General shooting, gaming, obviously, the garage, bot spam, all of these things, and memes. And shall we have a quick look at? No, I'm not even gonna. Shall we have a look at the Hall of Fame? Actually, a group of large. No, you can. Right. Okay. So Hall of Fame. We can always. Where is it? No, how did those videos not end up in Oh Dearie Me? Well, look, it's Chris's latest sponsored shooter. They've got to be here somewhere. Anyway, there's a couple. Oh no, we're going to skip past that one very, very quickly. But yeah, anyway, that's the Discord. You can go in, have a good chat. Just prepare yourselves because things can get a bit wild sometimes. And I like to speak my mind on there. It's just a shame that I don't feel that I can sort of safely do that, elsewhere online. I think it's, within the context of Discord, it's pretty safe. But you go and put something out on Facebook and someone just takes it out of context, and before you know it, you've just got more hassle than it's worth. Like to talk about videos that have gone out this week. It was just the one. It's on long barrel pistols. So if you want to learn a bit more about long barrel pistols, go and check out that video. It's just explaining why they were created, what the law is, and yeah. And there was actually a comment. I can't remember who it was, but someone perfectly surmised my feelings around long barrel pistols, which is like, don't get me wrong, I hate long barrel pistols. I don't think this is something that I've actually said before. I hate them. They like, seeing them makes me want to cry. But somebody said, put it in terms of, would you, but for people that have never experienced shooting a handgun, for something like a Chiappa Rhino, when you've got your sight picture and you pull the trigger on a target, it's going to feel like 80% of the, because obviously the long barrel, the muzzle flip is a little different, and all that. It feels closer
to shooting the real thing than shooting nothing does. It's significantly closer to shooting the real thing, the non-long barrel pistol or non-long barrel revolver version, than not at all. So it's like, you know, if someone turned up outside your house in a Ferrari F40, right, a £2 million car, and said, do you want to have a drive in this car, but you can only drive it at 30 mile an hour? Who would say no, right? It's yes, you haven't experienced the full, you know, performance, or you haven't had the full experience of handgun shooting, but again, it is still a hell of a lot better than nothing at all. And that's really where I stand with long barrel pistols. I'm not going to cut my nose off to spite my face. I'm not going to be belligerent and say we should have real handguns. What a monstrosity. I'm not going to shoot one out of principle, because the only person you are hurting there is you. You are removing some experience of shooting handguns. And do you know who wins if you do that? Absolutely. The Home Office, neighbours, and everyone that doesn't want us to be shooting. If because of our laws, because of how some of our guns have to look to conform to laws, if you say I'm not shooting that, they've won, right? Not only have they taken away the real thing, you've taken away the rest for yourself. So, you know, I wouldn't cut my nose off to spite my face on that one, basically. Anyway, so yeah, go and check out that video if you want to learn more about long barrel pistols. It is funny, I did actually, and I talk about this in the video, in pretty much every long barrel pistol video, I make a point of talking about what the long rod and what the long barrel is about. And still, without fail, every single video, why do you have that long barrel? Why do you have that rod? So anyway, that's why I made that video. We will touchdown confirmed on Mars. Awesome. Let's see if it's alive. Yeah, like we've sent stuff to Mars before. Like I don't know what's particularly special about this. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm huge into space and NASA and you know, space exploration and SpaceX and all that, but I don't understand what's so special about this rover compared to the other ones. Anyway, funny, cool. I just wanted to show. I've been meaning to show you guys on the live stream for a while. Some of you might have seen on the English Shooting Facebook page the Lego M2 machine gun. So let's bring that up now for you. This, like, I want the designs for this. I want, if Lego brought out a kit for this, I'd buy it 100%. It's absolutely wicked. You know, like, fully replicates the M2 machine gun. It's just absolutely cool. So yeah, go and, if you want to check out the full video on that. Well, oh no, that's, yeah, it's like 4 minutes long. So if you want to go and see more about that, head over to the English Shooting Facebook page. And if you haven't already liked, please make sure you like. But on that note, some of you, you know, my other passion aside from guns is of course cars. And I'm a huge Lego fan. You know, being, you know, going to university and doing engineering, and then going in full time after university, like, I don't think there's any engineer out there that doesn't like Lego. So when you combine cars and Lego, I become 6 years old again. So one of the Christmas presents, I just want to say, because I know, again, there's a lot of people, you know, very similar minded, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that like Lego out there. If any of you guys have even contemplating buying this, do it. Because it is absolutely insane. The, like, 10-year-old me would have done some serious shit to get hold of one of these as a kid. I'm sure you've already seen it about. It is, I can't even fit it in the camera. There we go. It is, yeah, that's right. I've got a Bugatti, just might be Lego. But that's it. Had an absolutely awesome time building that. It was actually a Christmas present. So yeah, any gun kits? Anyone know of any gun Lego sets? I'd be more than happy. I mean, the Bugatti Chiron is responsible for why I am still vaguely sane through this lockdown. something to sort of do, just chipped away at it. I think it's something like 3,000 or 4,000 parts, and it did. I mean, I did spread it out, and I think it took a total about a week, 2 weeks to build it. So highly recommend that kit. Of course, having the Cayman now, I definitely need to go and get the Lego Porsche, and maybe the Lambo as well. I don't know. We'll see. I think my chat might be significantly behind. So anyway, I want to show that, but building Lego's fun. Making guns, making cars, it's all the same. The Wild Justice Survey. So this, some of you might be aware of a little organisation called Wild Justice. They have been the ones single-handedly really messing things up, let's just say, for game shooters and for rough shooters. So you may or may not know that within the UK we have these things called general licenses, and it's not a license you need to apply for. They're like automatically given to everyone in the UK, and it allows people to be able to go out and shoot certain types of birds for pest control and population control, so on and so forth. And Wild Justice, sort of fronted by Chris Packham, had been causing loads of disruption and loads of issues for that industry, for that area of shooting. And bearing in mind, it's not just for the sport of going out and killing things. This is for protecting crops. It's for protecting livestock. So they've caused a lot of damage. And this is sort of the funny thing. Well, it's not funny really. It's quite tragic. Is this Wild Justice organisation, which is all about hugging trees and not killing things and living all as one big happy family, they've actually been responsible for a lot of animal welfare issues, because the farmers, the livestock owners, at certain points weren't able to actually go and protect their livestock. So the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust have put together a survey. So I would highly recommend, I'm going to put a link in now for you to go and do it. Just go and do it. Apparently it takes, that's literally it. We can have a look at it here. I'll bring it up on the screen, but there's the link for it. It will literally take you 2 seconds. Are Wild Justice doing more harm than good to British wildlife? Are the actions of Wild Justice doing more harm than good to British wildlife? Yes or no? It's up to you. Why do you believe that? Put a little statement in there, and you can sign up. That's literally all you have to do, and it's to show that people aren't happy, that Wild Justice aren't actually doing what they are intended, or what their organisation is meant to be doing, which is protecting wildlife, allowing wildlife to thrive. They are using donations and fundraisers to basically be a royal pain in the arse to shooters, and only shooters, because they disagree with things being killed, right? It's just natural evolution, right? There are, you could say that actually we've messed with the chain, because we've killed loads of predators, and that's why we have so many issues with foxes, because there's nothing that hunts them. So we've sort of created that problem, but then we invented guns and we solved it. But yeah, it's a way of life in the countryside, going and shooting, pigeons to protect crops, crows to protect livestock, stuff like that. Or was it magpies as well? So there's loads of good that comes from it, and not forgetting that even on wild, what is it? It's what's the organisation? What's the National Trust? The National Trust shoot deer, right? Because you have to. Like, generally, you have to shoot them. Again, because there's no natural predator of deer here, their populations grow and grow and grow. And it's like with anything, there's only a finite amount of resource to sustain a finite amount of deer. And when the population gets too big, the whole herd will suffer, because they're all then getting less food than they should. You end up with disease. You end up with unhealthy deer. So they need to be shot to have their numbers controlled. The the National Trust do this because they understand it's just part of, not necessarily the ecosystem, but it's just part of the way of life out in the countryside. So wild justice, again, it's this idealism, that we can all live in a world of rainbows and unicorns and this, that, and the other, but that quite literally isn't the real world. And these people don't live in the real world. They are, in my opinion, they are doing far more harm than good. Not just the disruption or the unforeseen consequences of what they've been doing, but the money. Like, Basque has had to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds already on this, plus all of the other organisations. That's money that, Basque, the British Association for Shooting and Conservation, they do a lot of conservation work. They do very little for protection shooting, but they do a lot of conservation work. And that's, a few £100,000 that could have gone back into conservation. Wild justice, again, how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of pounds have they paid that could have been used for actual conservation? It's like the RSPCA spending, I think there was one case where they had spent, or maybe it was accumulatively, but there was a figure, I think, of like 700,000 had been spent on pursuing fox hunts, and they hadn't had a single conviction. Now, I'm not going to get into whether fox hunting is and I'm talking with hounds, is right or wrong. It's against the law. It shouldn't be done. But when you're spending hundreds of thousands of pounds and not being successful in enforcing it, you sort of got to look, well, actually £100,000, £700,000 could run an animal shelter, for a year. It could build, well, I don't know necessarily how much it costs, but, it's that sort of money, when the RSPCA are going, look, give us money because we need to home these abandoned animals, or we need to pay for medical bills, or we need to pay for food. It's very hard to be sympathetic and to reach into your pocket to donate when they're spending hundreds of thousands of pounds pointlessly pursuing criminals that technically the police should be going after anyway if they're doing something against the law. So go to that survey, fill it out, and have your opinion heard. On that note, of course, the firearm safety consultation has now stopped, so I really hope everyone watching right now, certainly anyone in the UK, went and put a submission in there. I have to be completely honest, I left it right to the last minute, not literally the last minute. I did it, I think it closed Wednesday evening, and I did it like 5-6 o'clock Wednesday. But the important thing is that I did it. And I don't care if you did it 1 minute before the deadline or you did it 3 months ago. As long as you got the submission in, hopefully the Home Office, NABUS, the police, whatever, will be able to see that they don't know what they're talking about. It's just, again, more restriction for restriction's sake, and they're not going to achieve what they want to achieve. So hopefully it's made a difference. Hopefully, again, it took me 2 minutes to go through and fill out, and it probably took you guys the same. It's not a huge waste if it doesn't make a difference, but I'd rather waste 2 minutes on the chance of it making a difference than with having no chance of making a difference, if that makes any sense at all. It's getting late. I'm flagging. Captain Crack, I found most anti's views come from a place of ignorance of the facts and emotion. Absolutely, and this is why I say a lot of the time about, we were talking about it earlier, pulling triggers, right? Getting people on a range and pulling the trigger of a gun instantly dispels all the myths, all the misconceptions, all the misinformation. And usually the best example of this is clay pigeon shooting, right? There was for my 21st, I got a Beretta silver pigeon, and for my birthday I wanted to go clay pigeon shooting. None of my friends shot at the time. I mean, this is literally like, I'd only been a member of a club for like 6 months. So I'd only really been into shooting like heavily with it, for like 6 months. And all of my college friends, none of them shot, but they were all up for it. And there were two girls that went there, and one of them sort of pulled me aside on my own and said, "Look, I'm here because it's your birthday, but I'm actually really quite scared, like genuinely scared. And I don't I might want to just sit in the cafe." And I said, "Okay, I think you're being a bit silly, but I can understand. Bad things can happen with guns, but do you trust me?" Don't you guys answer that. Do you trust me? Yes. Okay, so just come, let's not go with anyone else, I'll take you there now. Okay. And she's like almost like, you could tell there was this this tension. And I said, "Don't worry about hitting it, I'm going to send up a clay." I went through, get your cheek down, get it into your shoulder, got her in a good position, not like that, and sent the clay, and she hit the first clay, and it was like, I'm like, bloody hell. And then she just turned to me with the biggest grin. She was like, "Send the next one." And it was like all of this pent up fear and emotion and anxiety, literally with one trigger pull, melted away, and a beaming smile. There was also another girl who, I think she was like sub 5 foot, tiny thing, and she was really worried, again apprehensive about holding a quite a big shotgun to a tiny sort of lady like that. Shotguns are quite big, and she was worried about the recoil and that it was going to hurt. And again, I spent the time with her, got her in the right position. Ha 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 ha. That's what she said. And does that make sense? And again, I think what she was more apprehensive about is, because she was quite small, was the recoil. And again, I think she missed the first clay and got the second clay. And it was like, that was nowhere near what I was expecting to be on my arse. And I'm like, well, because you've had someone that's shown you how to do it properly, so you don't end up on your arse. And again, they all loved it. Everyone came away from that day. I think it was like 5 or 6 people from college. They all went away with smiles on their faces. And more importantly, they all went away knowing actually what it was like to fire a gun, and actually what it felt like, and all the misconceptions gone. So yes, I think the same thing with these activists, with these anti-gunners, with these anti-hunters. It is just ignorance. They just literally don't know better. They have seen on TV people saying how bad it is, and it looks horrific and all this, and guns look sinister and scary and whatnot, and they just get suckered into it, and it's a real shame. So I that's why I would try and take as many people shooting for their first times as possible, because that's whether or not they then get into the sport, whether or not they actually go and get a license is that's a Brucey bonus, right? But at least that's one other person out there that actually knows that when somebody at a party or at a book club or out and about in the street or at work or whatever, if someone starts spouting bollocks about what it's like to shoot a gun, at least there's one other person out there that can turn around and go, no, that's horseshit. You don't know what you're talking about. It's nothing like that. And that's what we need more of. We need more people being aware of the facts and removing the emotion out of it. So yeah, completely agree, Captain Crap. I love videos where people who are afraid of guns shoot them and then instantly love them. You mean like this video? This is a golden oldie. It's going to take me forever, isn't it, to find it? Let's see. I think it's this one. This is what an AR... Oh, no. Too loud. Let's turn that off. If you haven't seen this before, where have you been living? Here we go. I mean, you see it. The thing is, I like it's all fun and games, laughing and joking about that, right? But who I blame the most is the instructor there, right? Why was that? Like any instructor or coach worth their or RO whatever worth their salt is going to go up to him and go, "You're doing it wrong." Like you know you just everything about how he's holding it is wrong. It's like, what do you expect? He's not even aiming. You know, first of all, like, it's not even safe. He's just randomly firing rounds down range, right? Of course, you know, mainstream media, it's probably all just a big setup anyway. But yeah, well, I don't think there'd be any gun range that would ever do that purposely, unless for a serious amount of money. But you know, why didn't he step in and go, stop being a penis? You know, that guys, Ollie, Captain Crack, this needs to be an emote. You need to do it now. You need to screenshot it, and that you need to cut it out. Him, the body, the gun, the head, all that, cut out of the background. By the time I get off of the live stream, I want that to be an emote in the Discord, because that is like the typical anti-gun, isn't it? That's just like anti-gunner personified. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, not again, I'd say about pulling triggers, not everyone, right, gets converted the first time they pull a trigger, but we all know that was show and propaganda and the controlling the narrative. Captain Crap, awesome, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to using that one heavily. Yeah, so what else? Survey, Silverstone. Oh yeah, so NRA and Bisley, PRL. This, I have to be completely upfront and honest that it's not something I know a huge amount about. I know Daniel, who's here, is very interested, has done a bit of this in the past. So the NRA made this announcement, and you know, and I know what you guys are thinking. NRA, here we go. Here it's rant time. So this was last week, literally, I thought just after the live stream last week. Basically, the PRL, for those of you that don't know, my basic understanding of what PRL is, like, it's CSR slash like IPSC rifle. Like from what I see, basically you're I mean, there's a picture of actually someone doing it. So shooting at a variety of targets, a variety of distances from a variety of different obstacles, and there's going to be a time and scoring system, but the NRA will be hosting matches. So that is a statement from the CEO of the National Shooting Centre, not the NRA, because obviously they got in a little bit of trouble of not having enough separation between the charity of the NRA and the National Shooting Centre. But moving on, so the Precision Rifle League is coming to Bisley. Again, unfortunately, you can go and check that out on their post. It's also, so I can say it's not on English Shooting, but you go on to the NRA and check that out. I have to say, it is very progressive and forward thinking. I wish that the NRA were a little bit more welcoming for, say, IPSC, but to see a new and growing discipline, I mean, it is very similar to CSR from what I understand. They, you know, so they are very heavily ingrained in CSR as it is there. So to add this isn't necessarily a huge jump, but to be progressive, to be sort of open-minded to new disciplines is fantastic to see. And again, I don't know the huge ins and outs of it, but unfortunately, once again, there is a load of politics. There's been, I mean, Dan is like the expert on this. He's been following it very, very closely, and it's just unfortunately a case again of I think a little bit of pride, a little bit of ego. You know, maybe people not getting the credit that they deserve, and maybe some people taking more credit. And it's just like, look, guys, just stop. Is this good for the sport? Like, just get it done, get matches on. Like, I'd really like to go and try it, but there just seems to be so much turmoil all the time. But we'll see where it goes. The fact that they're now confirmed to be going at Bisley is going to be a nice, I think, cornerstone for them to build from. and we'll have to see where it goes in future. But yeah, I'd like to get involved. I'd like to go in at least see one in process, so you know, like a competition in progress, so I can understand it a bit more. But if you're fancying some sort of long range precision shooting, that's maybe a little less boring than laid in the same position for hour after hour, then this might be for you. So go and check it out. Black Guinea Pig, yes. CSR, again, it's not a discipline I've actually done. I've seen a lot of it being done, but just there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm answering your question already, as I'm sure you've already guessed. So you know, I haven't done it myself, but I've been around it quite a bit. A number of friends that've shot it, so I have the general idea of it. I would like to give it a try. I have been I am aware that well, this was, I think, more whilst Mark Bradley was still alive. I'm certainly not that CSR aren't particularly big fans of English shooting. Let's just say a lot of people aren't going to travel out to Wales up north to try it out, but if it's at Bisley, I think it will attract a lot more people. Absolutely, that's why I think it's fantastic. People are gonna they're gonna try it out, aren't they? They're if it's accessible and it's new and it's easy to get involved, then they're gonna get involved. They're gonna try it out. Speak to Tiff and see him about a range day. Yeah, no, I see that. You know, even if it's just purely to do a video, just to sort of show people what it is, I'd be up for. It is done. Oh yes. Actually, I'll wait till after the live stream, because actually that is the last topic. So, is there a Russian in the chat? Well, seeing as there seems to be a guy speaking Russian in the chat, I would assume so. Obviously, unfortunately, I don't speak Russian. I don't know what he's saying. Perhaps Ollie, who has deleted a couple, is deleting the messages now, has translated them. English only, please. Google Translate. You can translate from any language into English, and then we can. Oh, he's still going. But we'll yeah, we no. I don't think many people can understand you. We don't know what you're saying, and unfortunately, out of precaution, we need to delete the comments, because you could be saying anything. Although I will just Google Translate that one quickly to see roughly what you're saying, whether so I know whether to ban you or not. Russian in chat. See. The Russians have infiltrated us. Sounds like my perfect Friday night, if I'm going to be honest. It's not just at Bisley, it's also done at Cobham, which is just around the corner from Bisley. Oh, nice. CIA enters the chat. Home Office enters the chat. Anyway, guys, I think that's about it. Another solid live stream. Done fantastic on the numbers. Before everyone heads off, please, if you haven't already, make sure you've liked, make sure you've subscribed. We do this every single week, so if there's something that you didn't ask this week that you want to ask next week, then please feel free to join us again. It will be same time, same place at 7:30 on the English Shooting live stream on 7:30 UK time. Are we GMT or we in? I don't know what we're in, but you know, UK time. But yeah, so KJB enters the chat. Now I'm scared. It's for a Russian dating site. What was it called again? Right, bookmark. So yeah, I think moreover, big thank you everyone for tuning in, for hanging out, for making it a fun evening. I need this. I enjoy doing this, I think, as much as you guys enjoying it, because otherwise it would be completely boring at the moment with lockdown. I really do look forward to it. Catching up on all the week's shooting news and all that. But yeah, I won't. It's just GMT at the moment. UTC, cool. Duly noted. Thank you, Ollie. But yeah, as I've said, Ollie is now going to ping a link in the chat to the UK Shooting Discord. I am going to Holly. What about Holly? Oh no. I'm going to be over in the Discord straight after this. So, well, I'm going to go for a wee and just contemplate life for 5 minutes. But yeah, I'll be over in Discord. So Wally, please post a link, and everyone, you can go. It's free to join. You can just follow that link and go in and start chatting. We won't abuse you too much, and hopefully we see enough, load of you guys there. So yeah, again, big thanks, guys. I'm just rambling on now, so I will. I'll love you and leave you. Really appreciate it. See you next week. And as always, I hope to see you soon.